there's nothing worse when you're a parent than having, you look a bit ratty, than having other people tell you how you should be parenting. You know, that kind of I know better than you kind of approach. It really gets you a go. There's only one thing worse than that, and that's intervention by the state coming in and telling you how you should be parenting. I think that's kind of why there was a little bit of an outcry this week when the Greens came out with kind of suggestion, well, more a recommendation for parents doing some Christmas shopping this year, that they should avoid gender-based toys. He's got it by the hair. That's not good. Oh, it was an accident. But, sorry, he's a prince. But, apparently it's because gender-based toys, meaning things like, I suppose, Barbies for girls, that sort of thing, dollies for girls and trucks for boys and guns and things like that. But apparently they've been linked to, poor role modelling and self-image and, women getting low pay and, stereotypes, I guess, of women and setting women up for domestic violence. I don't know. I just think it's a little bit far-fetched. I mean, when I give my daughter a Barbie for Christmas, I'm not going, Happy Christmas, darling. Here's your little Barbie to get you ready for being bashed later on in life. It's called the, I really love him and I should leave him, but I believe he's going to change Barbie. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I just think it's a little bit silly because I think generally, some girls actually quite enjoy playing with kind of, pink and, Barbies and so do some boys, and some girls really like playing with trucks. I think kind of looking at gender-based toys and kind of saying, well, now that somehow you're going to change the system and the way things operate by changing your toy choice, it's really naive. And frankly, it's insulting. I mean, most of us can see past this. See this? There's no stereotype in a Barbie, really. You think that's going to affect your self-esteem? This is what happens to a Barbie just 2 weeks after being at home. And a girl learns that you don't stay perfect for long. All you've got to do is get out of the box. Your hair goes up, you lose your clothes, you get chewed on the foot. I mean, perfection doesn't last. Barbies, and very often they're the ones that maim them. It's all about, we have a lot of Barbies. Look at the damage I've done. It's actually going from blame the victim to blame the victim's parents. I can just see in court years from now that, a young man's been charged with the sexual assault of a young woman and the barrister approaches the bench and he goes, Your Honour, I just have to inform you that my client shouldn't be here today. He's not responsible. It should be his parents. They bought him a monster truck. Oh, God. The Greens have become the Grinch now that stole Christmas, haven't they? Because, now, I actually bought my little 5-year-old, I bought her this lovely little baby doll that she really was wanting, and I thought I was buying her a gift that was nurturing and taught her empathy and kindness and compassion, but apparently I'm setting her up for low pay, and poor conditions. And as for my son, now I'm getting knitting needles and some nice, bit of wool. So I suppose if he wants a monster truck, he can knit it, can't he? He can knit it for himself. That's just stupid. I mean, how do you know what? I mean, you can't spend your whole life living with blocks and pencils and non-gender defined things. I mean, I just think you're taking away the experience. A lot of us like that. Just because you grew up playing princesses and fairies and you had a pink doona cover, and a My Little Pony poster, that doesn't mean you're going to end up in a domestic violence situation. And conversely, growing up, playing with nice pencils and wool doesn't mean that you're going to avoid ever being a victim of any sort of domestic violence or poor treatment. I think having read lots of feminist texts, I don't at any time recall there being an association with the real oppression of women and gender stereotypes being rooted in, Barbie and Ken. You can't blame Barbie and Ken. All that kind of stuff. Actually, it trickles down, not up. You can't change the system by stopping this. This gets changed when things at the top change, basically. So I'm sort of saying this Christmas, if the Greens want to make a change to our children's lives and the toys that they say gender type and set us up for a terrible legacy in life. What a joke. I'd say what they should do is maybe legislate things like, or put in for, weight minimums for modelling. That you can't have a model under size 14 in any public campaign. Maybe we could outlaw public, any sort of non-prosthetic plastic surgery and ban Botox. And then maybe when you change that at the top of the capitalist system, then maybe the toys will change. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Greens should just butt out of Christmas and do what we vote them in to do. Save the environment, look after our trees, our Christmas trees. Anyway, look at that. I mean, how could you say that? I just can't see how anything like that could actually be responsible, for, like this one. Look, she hasn't even got feet. So look at that. Well, that's hardly creating low self-esteem in women, is it? How can you relate that? I'm not that much of an idiot. And even children aren't that. You actually go, oh, that's me. I wish I had no feet and no nipples. So silly. Anyway, looks like the kids will just be getting rocks and twigs. That's the green. I'd hate to be the Green Senator's child this Christmas. It's going to be very bloody disappointing, isn't it? Terrible to have to be a role model.